Good afternoon. It's me, Angie from Learn Love Tarot, here to bring you messages of direction towards our best and highest good using the energies of the daily moon cycle and the planetary aspects that are happening around us. This message is timeless as energy is cyclical, so do trust that whenever you find the messages when you're meant to. Thank you in advance for sharing your energy with me today by subscribing to the channel and leave a comment so that you can align with me more energetically. And if you do find anything contained in today's message that resonates with you, I really appreciate your exchange of energy by hitting the like button. Know that you can learn more about me and how to book a personal reading with me in my homepage. Good afternoon. Happy full moon in Libra, everybody. So today I'm going to review my notes quickly, and then we're going to be pulling a reading for all air signs. However, I'm going to do Libra first so that the full moon reading is for all of us. And then since Thursday evening for our date night live, I inadvertently left out air signs. I feel like it was for a reason because we had to kind of let this energy settle and take hold. So I don't think anything is an accident, especially not these days. So let's look at what's up for today. We're looking at the crown chakra energy. That's our energy and how it vibrates around us. And we have April 12th, 2025 added up together. We get the number 25. So the 25th of the month may resonate for you. You could be dealing with a situation where someone is 25 years old, or you are, or someone in your life is. In addition, 25 years ago was the year 2000, which was a 2 year of partnerships and balance. Now, 2 plus 5 would be our 7 energy of the Chariot, where the head and heart align of the Emperor, and he drives forward with his soul because the soul does not require reins to drive that chariot. The sister energy, the opposing energy on the other side, would then be the energy of the Tower, which is Mars energy. And that is ruling traditionally Scorpio, and modern astrology. We have Pluto, of course, ruling Scorpio as well, but also here Aries, where the sun is. Today's sun energy that's opposing the moon later on tonight is it's about allowing higher forces to shape our lives. And there's an epiphany kind of energy as well, because this is associated to the healing that is happening with the sun's conjunction in Chiron. Opposing that, or the sister energy to Aries with the moon in Libra, the full moon in Libra, is a third wing on the left side of a butterfly, discovering our own uniqueness. And with the Tower's energy, there's monarch butterflies everywhere. So, how cool is this? This is a revelation kind of energy. It might even have to do with some kind of shock or surprise for you. Now, in this symbol, Libra's full moon is about a win-win outcome, right? Balance on both sides of the energy. Full moons are about releasing and letting go. They're about forgiveness. And if you would like to repeat the Ho'oponopono Hawaiian prayer of forgiveness, there are 4 phrases here repeated 108 times. And those phrases are: I'm sorry, please forgive me, I thank you, I love you. And you repeat that again, like I said, and that it brings in a big energy of healing and opens us up, that allow those higher forces, spirit, our guides, our angels, to help carry us forward. Now, with today's date being the 12th, that is the energy of a hanged man. So there's a potential for any situation in our lives with the culmination of the full moon energy that started at the new moon last October. 6 months from then to now, this could, whatever situation started in October, that new beginning in October in Libra, the new moon in Libra, is now culminating to the full moon in Libra. And again, that's a situation that could be a complete flip of the script. The Hanged Man is also about spiritual enlightenment and seeing something from a completely different perspective, which is where this healing epiphany comes in. The Rose reading yesterday was pretty incredible, guys. I hope you did get a chance to check it out. Now, the sister energy that matches up with the Hanged Man is of the Empress. And Empress energy is Venus energy, and the Venus rules Libra and also Taurus there. So, no coincidence. Once again, at 9:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do have Venus finally stationing direct in Pisces, and that is the clarity of our boundaries versus walls. It's illusions being dispelled, and us seeing the forest for the trees. Now, the path of life path sevens is of change and growth. It's about the energy with Pisces culminating, fulfilling our desires. And that is where Mercury is right now today, fulfilling our desires, communication about that possibly. And then with Venus going direct right here this morning, she was at 24 degrees, 37 minutes. And that is about ridding ourselves of negative thoughts and judgment. We can even have a whole, again, like I said, a whole change of perspective regarding anything that started during the retrograde and or revisiting our perceptions of love, that it isn't something that is meant to hurt us and that we should close our hearts off and push away. It's about growth and our own heart's balance, the balance of our own yin and yang, head and heart, drives forward the chariot into this new growth, a new cycle, even perhaps for you. So, to figure out where this revelation could be occurring for you the strongest, you're going to want to look at 23 degrees 19 of Libra, wherever that is sitting in your chart. And then directly opposing that, right? This is our full moon energy. And then the sister energy on the opposite axis is going to be the house, where you're going to have this energy in this lesson, allowing higher forces to shape our lives in that life area, wherever that is for you. Let me know in the comments. Okay, guys, let's get on to it. We still have this 22 energy finishing up with Chiron the healer. Okay, so very interesting energies here. What I was also noticing is that where action is happening and emotions as well, Mars is in Cancer, round that up to a 28, which is a modern Pocahontas. And that is the understanding dawns that we must find a way to reconcile and unite the past and the future, that lemniscate energy, right? And a 28 would be a wheel of fortune energy of a 10, further breaking down to a 1 of the magician. So this is where all 4 aces of potential can begin. And remember, all the water, or if I've created your birth chart, the blue areas of your chart flow, right? As do all the earth green energies, the purple air. And just by even looking at my notes without reading a thing, you can tell where the energetics are heaviest in regards to air, earth, fire, and water. So lots of air and water, the realization of truth, right? And also that 927 this morning, I did want to note that will be a 99. We've been seeing that a lot. Black cat walked across my fence. So balancing energies, that will be Queen of Wands, Aries, and Scorpio energy. And in the spirit of the animal spirit oracle. That is the 44 card. Notice it's at 44 minutes of reclaiming our power, the Black Panther energy. So, in case this is the end here, 99 problems, but what isn't one? You reclaiming your power. This is stepping into a whole new era for us. And again, with Venus stationing direct, that clarity that we've been seeking is coming forward. So, I hope that helps you. Let me know again in the comments. My goal is to try to make things as easy as possible because astrology is complicated. It's not something easy to learn. Wow. So, speaking of Cancer energy, this is the heart opening. And notice there's some pink roses here on the moon with that rose energy from the reading yesterday, that very poetic reading. And with the full moon in Libra, that is the pink moon. Okay, it's a pink super moon. So not only are emotions heightened on a full moon, on a super moon, they are extra heightened, right? Super moons, emotions run extremely high. So here before the cut, we've got Ace of Pentacles. This brings in the physical, tangible opportunity by us opening up our heart, brings in the rose. Wow. Okay. And there's our magician energy of that 28 degrees converting to a 10, then a 1 of all four aces of potential. And we see her making the shape of the divine masculine energy. And then right above that is the divine feminine, the cups energy aligning, and therefore our vibration raising, and this effervescent energy, water and air bubbles, right? And there is here remnants of a checkerboard or a chessboard on the bottom. I did include a pink and white checkerboard in my graphics today. There's our Libra energy, moving forward with discernment because illusions have been, we have clarity around them. We know where our boundaries must go in order to use the full potential of all these aces of a new start. And we've got Six of Pentacles here, Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups, there's our full moon pouring back into ourselves. Like I said here, opens up our heart. Our high priestess energy is then heightened with that flow of emotions that's bringing in this physical tangible offer of time, energy, money, resources, talents, assets. Okay, and this clarity could have to do with, where are we really balanced? Am I giving what I am receiving, and am I reciprocating? Do I know what offers, if I am taking them, what kind of, what does that come with? What does that tangible offer include? Make sure we have clarity, because the Six of Pentacles can be a confusing card that asks us, okay, well, then what are the expectations? We can't quite see what's happening here. Why do the people that are richly dressed look like they're taking from someone who's only wearing sort of this gauze get up, right? And are we overgiving when they don't really need what we have? Or is this an old habit of what we're looking at with discernment? Are we overgiving? And can we pour that energy back into ourselves rather than going, nope, nope, Seven of Swords, I'm not overgiving. Who's overgiving? Who's being codependent? Not me. And here's the transformation of the Scorpio energy. Okay. There's the snake of knowledge, the veil. Okay. This muslin energy here. And our story started earlier in the week with that Miss Havisham energy coming in pretty strong. So these are already saged and shuffled. Let's go ahead and cut the deck. So that's why we're here today, those cards that we just reviewed. And The reading today is going to be about a crossroads. It's decision time. She is holding a wand, and a cup is their passion and love here. We see a waxing crescent moon, so that would be the energy of a new beginning, possibly with a person from the past. Maybe the illusion, this is kind of a little bit of a melancholy energy, very nostalgic, actual twins, somebody from childhood. The Six of Cups is a minor arcana energy of the lovers. And in order to, this can be willful blindness about not wanting to see that we were living in nostalgia. That could have been the illusion. In this deck, this swan has sung its song. Okay. And maybe that's just something we weren't sure. We wanted the full moon of Libra to reveal. This would be cardinal air. So that's Libra right there. Six of Cups is going to be Scorpio energy, like we talked about, walking away from indecision or two-sidedness, being there for a good time, not a long time, walking away from perhaps what was just passion and really stepping into our own power. There's the butterfly, the reveal. Okay. Discovering our own uniqueness. It was not attached to whatever this was. Okay. There's that Ace of Wands, that fiery passion, fire energy. She's holding the wand here and opening an open window and a net curtain. Okay, so that veil energy blowing into a cornucopia, opening up to new possibilities and everything that is inside of that cornucopia. And here comes the victory, guys. I love it. Let's see where you're at today. So if this is your energy here, we have not seen or looking at the past still with this Two of Swords energy here fueling that. Okay. As soon as we look up from the burden of what we've been carrying or what we did not want to see, the situation brings clarity, the full light of the moon. And this is the card of Virgo, could be tying into our third eye opening or the violet flame here, looking at our own selves, discovering our own uniqueness. Okay. And realizing it was not this connection here in the past, but how do I get out of the energy of rumination? How do I get out? Well, we look up and we see that this is actually a map of how to energetically leave that behind. And we're seeing the wisdom of this old journey here. Again, the opportunity is to leave dissatisfaction. Let's see what the opportunity for you is. Leaving dissatisfaction for a new love, the bluebird of happiness. Our vibration raises when we get out of this willful blindness about this past situation, past person. Again, could have started at the new moon in October, or what it really feels like because of that axes here with the Libra and Aries. We had the North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra, that lesson of independence and autonomy within one-to-one committed partnerships of all kinds. That started on July 23rd of 2023, and we had until January 11th. And then we had the solar eclipse last month. That was the closing time, was putting a wrap. That's a wrap. And now this is forcing us, right, to close down. And we might have thought we were never going to get over this. It could be quite shocking, this transformation. Okay, as soon as we let go of the burden and we examine why we were so stuck in a story that had already sung its song, we realize that we turn the pain into knowledge in order to move forward. okay, into this new Ace of Cups, pouring into our own heart, like we saw in the pre shuffle with the Queen of Hearts. In the recent past, the Seven of Wands is about putting up boundaries, taking the high road, pushing back on false masks of ourself or another. And the heart of the reading is all about pre-Empress energy. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, our luck turning through this self-examination. Let's see how that pairs here. The past energy, what we were pushing back against were people who were there for a good time, not a long time. And look at this progression. You learning the lesson coming out of that death and transformation energy that is already fueling the Queen of Pentacles, the next octave of this. That's the order of the steps, right? Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Empress. She is the senior of all the queens. Okay. And the top of the deck here, the near future, you are looking at how we are the common denominator of the way we have viewed love, through what lens we have viewed it through. And this Ace of Cups, she's sitting directly on, oh my God, in the background, you guys, the rose is playing right now. Wow. Wow. Those those hearts that can't seem to heal. Why have I stayed in that Miss Havisham energy? It's so low, I could barely even hear it. But wow. Okay. Wow. And when we look at this through the keyhole with that passionate lens, right, we might see that that passion was to ignite us. It wasn't our song or our story forever. But by being able to take this deep reflection over the last 6 months, especially, the opportunity is for happiness to come in, us to fill our own heart's cup. This is an apology, possibly even by filling our own cup. Let's not hold regret about any time wasted. Our healing takes what it takes, guys, and it will not be rushed. The mind is what keeps us in our prison, right? And we hang on to the idea, the nostalgia of what it could have been, and we're leaving that behind, okay, in order to step into new. All right. Wow. So this Page of Cups feels like, new love all over again. Passion is reignited. We understand that we already have all the ingredients that we need for this magician's new start, and that is passion returning, okay, after we take this opportunity to see what the lesson of this was. We leave and transmute the pain. We let the feelings come, and we don't deny we're having them, but we also are no longer pretending that we are willfully blind, that we were choosing to stay there. Okay, that Miss Havisham energy. Now, the top here, the block has been an ever turning dream, seeds that were already planted, the ones that, but I already planted those. We're still looking back at this past dream. And the ballerina inside finally escapes. She becomes real. This is not even a real ballerina. This one is. And the top of the deck, yeah, a four of wands, a relationship, whatever the label was, that's where we were stuck. Okay, top of the deck, what is what does spirit want you to know? Full moon much? We're graduating. Look at that fast. It's really just this realization. All we had to do was let this burden go. The burden of indecision, us pretending that we weren't at a crossroads, that we didn't have to decide to walk away. from this nostalgia, okay? That walking away from a swan song that had already sung its song. And their spirit pulling us into this new path of spirituality. Eight of Wands is passionate conversation. So passion, bookending passion here. I ain't going to be mad at that. I ain't going to be mad at that. What is fueling the Empress here? Victory at finally the 6 and 6, finally leaving this behind. 6 and 6 are 12 of today's date, the Hanged Man. This is the 180. We see it completely different now. Now we can move forward into this new growth, the actual, tangible, real offer, not the one that had already died. Okay. Releasing, forgiving, letting it go, forgiving ourselves for holding on so strongly to it. Possibly a 3 of Cups situation. Okay, this is fueling this 8 of Wands. So this can be an energy here. See this triangle as well of, girlfriends. It can be nostalgia. This could even be a friendship for you. And if it did have to do with third party energy that was just all about passion, take that only if it resonates for you. Okay. Look at that 21 world coming to an end. Beautiful. The 21 and the 3. Yep, pulling us away from continuing to skewer ourselves, letting fate pull us forward, because here she holds the head of fate in her own hands, but her focusing on this, never ending dream turning around inside her head over and over about whatever this was, kept us here, right? And this is finally surrendering to looking at our own ways of how we've pushed whatever we've pushed away, whatever masks we were wearing because of it. Again, heavy self-reflection. This is all about our luck returning when we start pouring back into ourselves, when we come out of that cocoon with the knowledge that it's time for me to spread my wings and fly to somewhere new. Okay. Let's see. Yep. 5 of Swords. That is gaslighting ourselves. Maybe we're a little bit pissed about being called out on this. It's okay. It's a normal human reaction. Maybe we are surprised that we are allowing ourselves to be pulled out of it. And very quickly, Knight of Swords, truth coming in fast regarding what we were doing here. 4 of Cups, book ending. Oh my gosh, she holds all 3. She holds the fate in her own hands, guys, because she has the measuring tape, the scissors. So here with this full moon, that is what turns the wheel of fate, the wheel of time. Okay. This is divine timing. And what that means is when we heal ourselves and heal those wounds, divine timing is activated for this new love, a renewal. 5 of Swords, the Chariot, leaving behind, and that is today's energy. The 7, the path of change and growth. 5 is change. There are 2 boats here that pulled her up out of the water, and she ain't happy about it, but it aligns our heart and soul once again, because only the soul drives the chariot. And look how in this rendition, the horses' heads are not touching, and this is the emperor driving the chariot. In this deck, it is the high priestess, because you started pouring into your own heart, seeing the reason that you were the common denominator here, looking at that past. okay, brings in her turning her face forward and looking into the future, raises our vibration. We can grab a higher cup of love. Bring me a higher love. If that's what you've been asking, please help me release this mental prison. Let me let this go so that something new can come in. Jupiter, these rabbits, and on her belt are four-leaf clovers. Again, Jupiter energy. You've had it in you all along to release it, and Spirit wants you to know it's time. It's time. It's time for you to shine. The 12 of the Hanged Man, sister energy of the Empress. Wow. Jupiter is sitting at 18 Gemini. That lesson is about the enjoyment of solitude and the spiritual practice of self-reflection. This is a situation reflecting on the nostalgic past that has been gripping us so deeply. It has had its hold. And we didn't really want to look at our own masks, okay? But stepping into our Queen of Pentacles energy brings that about. That's your power, reclaiming your power. What Spirit wants you to know is you are. And that is after this deep you've done this, you're doing this. You're enjoying now the practice of this self-reflection. It's the aha. You're getting it. Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Heads are together and the cosmos open up. Whoosh. I get it. I see the forest for the trees, the full moon. I see that my fate was never to remain back here. It was to gain victory with the lesson of it. Okay, this was definitely a relationship of one-on-one, whatever the terms were that we were holding on to. And either this new love coming in brings about the outcome of a new energy coming. Okay. And that's a new relationship. It requires us walking away from this old and ending that cycle. This is the divine feminine and the divine masculine opening up outside of her head. Instead of this old dream, this is actualized. Okay. It actually coming in because you've done the work here. Wow. You've learned the lesson of tithering back and forth between old skeleton. This is a crane, soulmate cycle energy, deep soul tie. Instead of tithering back and forth, we're ending a cycle of the Five of Cups and focusing on the broken cups and instead focusing on our own cup. Again, Queen of Pentacles brings the sun, brings this actual new person, new opportunity, new situation, and no longer dithering back and forth between the past and the present. Here comes your manifestation. Wow. Air signs. Emperor. You're the Empress. You've been the Empress all along. You just had to come out of the cocoon of the past for your victory. That's all. That is the counter energy to the Lovers. Look at her face. What I feared was my own healing. I feared Chiron the healer pushing me into a new portal. She's half woman, half fish. There's the crows, and she's holding a rose as well. The crows of communication, spirits communicating. Wow, guys. Wow. My, oh my. Okay. that is for everyone as far as the full moon is concerned. And this feels like kind of the last, energetically anyway, this was kind of the last cycle of people that did not utilize the energies of the north nodes. And now it's kind of coming back around to here, like, okay, we're ready to go here. You're all Spirit wants you to know you're already the Empress. When you dare to look back on your own path without judgment, you step back into your Queen of Pentacles energy, taking care of you. Self-reflection, then, both cards here, brings new communication and your Empress status, discovering your own uniqueness. I mean, that is just beautiful, gorgeous. All right, guys, I want to utilize here another deck of energy and ask about, in specifically, Aquarius. I'm going to start like I did last time with cardinal, fixed, and then mutable. So that is going to be Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. So again, Libra is all spread out here. Very, very distinct, very definitive story. You're going to know if it's yours or not. If it's not, don't worry about it. The air energies are all flowing together. Okay. A win-win outcome is forecast. The end of the cycle brings in your greatest happiness, your manifestation, your ships are coming in. And not just a little plastic one, actual bluebird of happiness. Okay. Alrighty. So after Libra, we step into Scorpio energy. So I think I'm going to grab my water deck here. Let's get into some deeper feelings. So let's see what that 7-card spread would look like for Aquarius. First card over. So we did a 7-card spread. So you're reconfiguring here, Aquarius. If at first you don't succeed, try again. These are very in alignment as far as how the energy feels. If the swords that you configured last time didn't allow spirit to carry you forward, you're willing to try a different way. Okay, carrying you forward regarding a 3 of Swords. Could be dealing with that right now. There's that Scorpio energy. This is the King of Cups, diplomacy. Yep, right here today, the world energy. 4th card is going to be our center. We'll see what they're paired with. Wow, Aquarius. You being willing to reconfigure and your idea, this is something that is lost. Okay, that 6 of Cups energy, that swan has sung its song on whatever this is. Ending a cycle. Again, the air energies are all trining. Ending a cycle of not being able to let this go. Let's see what it's book ending. Passion that we saw over here. Near future energy. Passion returning by you filling your own cup. We saw that Queen of Cups on the pre-shuffle. That is book ending. There could be passion that is either reignited somewhere new, like we're seeing with the full moon in Libra, or after a time of disappointment when we truly let this loss go. There's nothing to be done here. I'm going to scoot these over so I have a little bit more room. Wow. Okay. Love it. What else? There's Queen of Pentacles, heart of the reading, knowing that I just need to try a different way. Okay, let's see what's on the other side. I just need to try a different way. New leap of faith, the full energy. Whatever has ended, this is past when we are looking at this as the center. cycle ending. So in past, we did take a leap of faith. We tried to reconfigure things with someone here, Aquarius, and that was someone that possibly swam up to your energy and said, hey, I want what you want. More Queen of Wands, which is going to be our Aries and um, Scorpio energy here. Could definitely have been a Scorpio since we've got double Scorpio energy there. This would be Cancer. And there's the Magician. You cannot have a new beginning, all four aces of potential, until you close an old cycle here. In the near future, or what's fueling the Queen of Cups energy and opening your heart, is this Rabbit of Luck again, dancing on the fish. That can be kind of doing too many things or trying to entertain children. Children could be a factor. Maybe you're pouring into, you feel like all your time, energy, and resources are flowing into children or trying to keep them entertained. The Six of Pentacles, again, wow, not really sure who's the giver and who's the receiver, but this is about balance. Everybody here, they're working as teammates with the mermaids blowing up the bubbles. That are carrying the pentacles, and then the fairies are carrying and distributing out the pentacles. Okay, so your balance ignites, reignites your passion. And this is the Knight of Cups trying to get to the Queen status. We already have the King and Queen. So we tried diplomacy and aligning our head and heart after this. There's a cycle of ending here. There's Cancer energy returning, or our own pouring into our own heart again. Even though we're very, very busy, we've got to make time for our own heart, because this is someone who understands that without pouring into her heart, her intuition gets closed off. And this is being a very dutiful student. Okay, how does this scrying thing work? Because I want that Ace of Pentacles to come to me, and it's focusing on spiritual practices. Focusing on spiritual practices, allowing higher forces to share our lives, discovering our uniqueness, our ability to restore and replenish ourselves. Ten of Pentacles, this is everything connected in our lives. What will be connected to that Ten of Pentacles? Wow, look at that. This is a new relationship, possibly moving forward in our maturity and stability, moving from cups into pentacles. This is junior graduating to senior. We do have Pluto, the planet of transformation. That's the ruler of Scorpio energy in the sign of Aquarius. Wow. Like a boss, stepping up here, Aquarius. I like it. I really like it. Can we get any context here for Aquarius? Any story that might sum this up for them? The cornucopia energy of the Ten of Pentacles. By discovering your own uniqueness, you step into the heart of the full moon reading, Queen of Pentacles. Okay, there we go. Volunteer here. Trickery came in on the side. We might have felt like, it goes around counterclockwise like planets travel. So that card on the side would turn this way. And this, there's acorns on the top, but rocks in the bottom. You might have feel like you got some kind of a raw deal. I was tricked. And diplomacy has returned, confidence has returned, and we have the confidence to end a cycle of, what was appeared to us from the outside was an offer that ended up breaking our heart. and required a new leap of faith. And we did take a leap of faith with this person. Okay, but it was for our own growth, separating the wheat from the chaff, learning how to do that. All right. So this is Kelly the dragon holding a big acorn, and this is not allowing ourselves to think, oh, I was tricked by this person. I mean, they could have certainly been deceitful. The Three Swords is the deceit of the heart. They were the ones that swam up to me, right? They were super confident. I felt balanced at the time. And maybe this is also ending just we got to stop having these new starts because it just always falls back into the same pattern. So this is a time for you to transform Pluto energy, that habitual cycle, pouring into ourselves, even though we have very, very busy lives, restoring balance with passion. This is all about pouring back into your own self. And then another partnership comes on offer here, or a renewal or maturation of it, that Ace of Cups. New love or renewed love, something that is already existing in our lives. Okay. And we see that even though they came in with acorns on the top and there were just stones underneath that, right? The biggest prize of all is our own willingness to step into our truth and see and renew our own power and grow. That's really beautiful. All right, here where are we going for how about? We already did Libra, Aquarius, and let's get some Gemini cards here out on the table. There's that Six of Pentacles releasing. Wow. I mean, Queen of Pentacles has not quit. This is shedding an old skin, Gemini. This is about focusing on how we are caring for our own selves, our own balance. Yep, balance again, justice energy. Eight of Wands, like we saw in the outcome. There's that Queen of Wands again. 3, 4, 5, I'd like to go about 6, maybe a new leap of faith with a fire sign or a Scorpio. Again, Queen of Wands, ruled by Mars, Aries, and Scorpio to victory. Yeah. Okay, that is on the top of the deck. Let's look at what the story is. So that's why you're here. All right, Gemini, King of Cups again. 10 of Wands, setting down a burden, turning into an Ace of Wands. Okay, Queen of Cups again. Wow. 4 of Swords, healing. Okay. King of Swords, through truth, facing a truth. No longer going back and forth. And this is why I don't, in general, do all signs separately. I do them in chunks of earth, air, fire, and water, because you just get the repeating energies because they all flow. All 3 of those houses are flowing together. But hopefully this gives you a little more clarity. There's that Ace of Pentacles offer that I mentioned here by pouring into our own renewal. Let's see what's bookending here or fueling the King of Cups is the Knight of Cups, our own integrity and truth, even through turmoil. Examining Hermit energy, examining what 10 of Wands we need to set down, keeping our eye on the prize, so that we can get back to the passion, the Ace of Wands. Outside energy surrounding Queen of Cups before the healing. This is, again, very interesting that both suits or both the pairs have come out here. And even in the pre-shuffle energy of the full moon reading. And here's our moon. There's that full moon crossing the halfway bridge. This is about holding on to someone's heart or love energy, even though we may have outgrown it or that's not within our personal integrity to continue to covet and hold this, even though this condor knows she is not happy, he's still keeping her there. Okay, Gemini, you might feel there's someone still trying to hang on to your energy, but it feels like they are seeing that it's been a burden, or you are seeing that it's been a burden. Okay. Now we have the Chariot, our energy of today, book ending or fueling the King of Swords, this truth, our head and our heart come together in agreement. There's the conversion of the Ten of Wands to the Ace. And this, again, is a matchstick and not a Zippo. So it could be a creative opportunity to kind of get us out of the doldrums of how hard or how busy life is. And what is transforming is the 3D result or offer. And so that is seeing what's behind the curtain, the reveal coming out of the cocoon. Okay. The reveal regarding something in the 3D could be presenting itself here. Very interesting. Let's want one more. Nine of Pentacles, the energy fueling the full moon. That was fueling the Queen of Pentacles. And okay, so is someone's shadow here taking from your Nine of Coins? Nine of Coins and Ace of Coins is the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, if someone around you is trying to woo with passion and maybe even take something off your plate here, I would be sure especially with that Six of Pentacles, I would be sure, okay, well, what do you want in return? Uh, there could just simply be a transformation of your 3D life. The 180 could be there. But why is Seven of Swords with the Nine of Pentacles? I see it. I want it. It's mine. Make sure that this person, if this is their shadow, again, you got to really secure and nail down what is the offer here. Okay. Yeah. So, Gemini, make sure that you're paying attention to real life and not being fooled by sparkly gold things when you have the real thing right under your nose. But for whatever reason, we are allowing ourselves perhaps to stay in front of the curtain and not look at a situation or another person's energy because that feels scary. But what is this person possibly trying to avoid about their shadow? There's still an ego here. King of Wands, I see it, I want it, it's mine. Okay. But you're just seeing their flashiness, their beauty that could be presenting itself to you. But what do you already hold and already possess that's right underneath your nose? I think the focus needs to be there. Okay. If this is already a current marriage that has been hard and has required integrity and self-reflection, you know that they're holding on to your energy. What is hiding in the moon, what could be revealed is that, wow, I really need to heal from this. My truth is that it's time for me to go quickly. Passion might feel like kind of the burden here. Passion may feel like the burden. The opportunity may just be a quick flash in the pan. If this person is out of balance, which it feels like they haven't addressed their shadow yet, if this is someone coming towards you, it could even be you're the one that makes them confront their own shadow, especially if you're already sitting in the Nine of Pentacles. We just need to make sure that, are we just impressed by the passion of this? Or do we have something under our nose that was already beautiful and being worked on? That bird is sitting on a cup. It's not going to be for everyone, but it's there for somebody. Yeah. What's Cabrew? Three of Wands here, trying to escape, um, a fairy tale. This is Seven of Pentacles. That was in the block here. And this is about what has already been planted, something very fiery. Maybe you don't feel like you can stop it. Yeah, but it's definitely going to be causing a lot of jealousy, strife, fighting, competition. Woof. Gemini. You've been let know, okay? If that's what's coming up, yeah. What's falling on the floor here? Okay, again, shadow. I can't see the forest for the trees. A need to be impartial, a need to come back towards this King of Cups energy. Something's throwing you out of balance. Something is confusing you with that moon energy. And maybe that's why we haven't healed from it, because we don't quite understand the lesson of it. Yeah, there's that Two of Pentacles, because you're so busy keeping yourself busy that we haven't had the time to really look at what we do have, and something flashy comes along and we're letting it turn our head here. But this person could ignite a deep night of the soul for you, or you for them. So just be sure. Yeah, there's that Vanity. Uh, Out of balance, King of Wands. You're falling for the sparkly here. Okay, Gemini energy. And if you're wanting to kind of go back and forth one between the other, really, this is a call for us to self-examine the situation of the full moon, looking back on our own ways that we deliver the message of love, or that we see how the messages of love are delivered to us. And what is coveting our energy? What is taking away from you being able to stay impartial? What is confusing you? Are they hanging on because of love, or just because they don't want anybody else to play with their toy, even though they don't want the toy? And they have really nice words. Maybe the sex is good. I don't know. But this is definitely a person in ego. It's gonna take a little more waiting here. It feels like you're going through it here, Gemini. Okay, we really need that Jupiter in Gemini, enjoyment of solitude. Okay, and the spiritual practice of self reflection. These are all the guides trying to help you get back to this status. Okay. All right, guys, I hope that helped you today. Thank you so much for all your loving, caring, kind words and beautiful energy. Just simply by liking the video and with your comments, I appreciate you so, so much. And that is much love from my heart to yours. Bye bye for now.